What's going on, y'all? About to send this link out. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second. We're starting a little bit earlier today, but we're about to get to it. Give me 1 second, y'all. We are live. We are live. Yeah. I see some of y'all jumping in. Some of y'all got the bell on, I see. Some of y'all got the bell on. All right, bet. It's Friday, y'all. We're finally going to be done with the annoying first week of the month. But even though it's been pretty slow, it's only been a couple moves here and there, we're still up for the week and starting the month on a great start. And we're going to break that down in a little bit. Me and the members, as y'all know, we strictly Tokyo session with the members. We took this EJ trade. We entered here. We're going to break it down a little bit. I don't want to start going over it until more people come in. But this was one of those trades where, again, that video I dropped a week ago with the motions, this is one of those trades that you have to have a cool, calm head. And if you didn't, or me a few years ago, I probably would have closed earlier. Who knows what I would have did. So we're going to break this trade down a little bit as well. Go wait for some more people hop in. We're starting the live a little bit earlier than we usually do. But we're still going to be on for the London session, of course. What's going on, y'all? All right, cool. Yes, right now, this trade, we're currently at, well, we just hit the next TP. So let me go ahead and let the members know that we just hit TP. What is that, TP5? And I'll pull this up on the screen in a little bit too. Yeah, we just hit TP5. So let me let them know TP5 got hit. We're going to draw down in this trade literally all Tokyo session. We didn't start hitting blue until a few hours ago. We entered this trade. We're going to pull it up in a little bit. But we're nice and profit on this one. Yeah, so we're almost at a nice little 1-to-1 risk reward. This isn't the full target. That's just the where I'm targeting first, and then we're going to see how price reacts. My ultimate target is all the way down here. That's when we'll see price hit towards the end of the day, if the reversal continues, because we were going over this in yesterday's live and earlier this week, and price is doing a repeat of what we saw yesterday. So we was nice and bullish. As y'all know, we've been catching nice buys on EJ and GJ, but last week and this week, price struggled to make a new high, right? Failed to make a new higher high, and then price reversed back to the strong support level, right? Let me bold this up so y'all can see this. So it failed to make a new higher high, and then price hit the support level, respected it. As we see this wick here, all right, y'all check out my most recent video I dropped earlier this week. I went over wicks. You see how price wicked this level and dropped back down. And then yesterday, price broke this support level, hit this level, wicked back up, and then me and the members entered the sell. We was in drawdown literally all Tokyo session, but as you can see, now we're deep in profit. We're riding this entire daily candlestick down so far. Those just joined the stream, go ahead and hit that first link in the description. Join that free signal room, free Telegram. You see on your screen how we did last week and last month. We ended last week 100% win rate, 14-0, took 0 losses, caught 31,642 pips. Last month we went 55-4, then it's a 93% win rate, catching 151,295 pips for the month. And I got to do the tally up for the quarter this week as well. What's going on, 82 Pharaoh? I see you in here. What's going on, 82 Pharaoh? What's up? What's up? Hi, looking at getting into trading. Is it worth straight into your course? Been watching your lives for a few days now. Honestly, to you, I'm gonna be 100 with you, like, because I do this to help people. I am running a business, but those that don't watch me, you say you don't watch me. Whoops, there goes my alarm. My bad, y'all. But if you've been watching me for a while, you know I don't really like try to sell my stuff too heavy. So I'm just gonna get 1,000 with you. The course strategy, it teaches how to read candlesticks in general. All right, it's how we trade, this is how you read any chart. I'm talking about indices, metals, crypto, options, stocks. It works on any. So I teach you how to read the charts, strictly how it is, no indicators, nothing like that. And then, of course, I break down my trading strategy, as well as I throw in my buy and sell limit strategy, as well as a few other things. Apply it. I cheaper, and that way you'll get the trades as well as the education weekly and monthly as well. All right, because with the Venice Place Signal Room, we do have lives every week outside of London session, and then I also answer questions, break down things, charts, and enter trades how I do. So if you don't see yourself, sitting down and putting in that time and applying yourself, I wouldn't even recommend getting the course. But yeah, that's what I'll tell you. But any of the subscriptions and options are worth it, but it's just up to you. That's why I have different options, just up to the type of person you are. So if you don't see yourself being able to, do that, then I'd recommend the Venice Place Signal Room. What's going on, Orion? I see you in here. What's going on, Lero? What's going on, Monty? So me and the members are currently in this trade. If you already are following me on Instagram, you check out my story, you'll see that. If you aren't following me on Instagram, go ahead. You see it on the bottom of your screen. Hit that follow button. Check out the content on there as well. Make sure to follow me on TikTok also at Playmaker_Way is the Instagram. Playmaker Way is the TikTok. I post daily on both pages. All right. Some stuff I can't post on TikTok, so I post on Instagram, and vice versa. Some stuff I can't post on Instagram, so I post on TikTok. Longer form content videos, similar to stuff on Instagram, is going to be on TikTok, because TikTok, they allow you to post stuff longer than 1 minute. Instagram has to be a minute or less. But as far as like screenshots of positions and things like that, that's going to be more on Instagram, because thanks to the good folks from 2020 and 2018, the IMLs, they think anything's a scam related to Forex now. So I can't even post screenshots of, I couldn't even post screenshots of Telegram. I couldn't post screenshots of my MT4. I couldn't post a lot of stuff. I see other content creators posting that, but I was getting like banned heavy. So I'm kind of shadow banned now because of that. I'm kind of tempted to make a new account since I learned from my mistakes and start fresh, and hopefully I'll be put in the algorithm more, because I got so many videos taken down, and the way TikTok works, even if they flag a video and you appeal it and they were like, oh yeah, we did mess up, they still will count it as a violation. They don't clean your record. So I have a bunch of stuff, and it was at the point where I was banned from even commenting or posting videos for like 2 weeks. I got unbanned. I got banned again for another 2 weeks, and then it was at a point where I was banned for like a month. So I think I just destroyed my account, to be honest. So I'm tempted to just start a new one and see what happens. I might do that this weekend. We'll see. But nonetheless, make sure to still follow me on TikTok for now, because we are almost at 1,000. Shadow ban or not, we're still almost there. But they definitely are hiding me in the algorithm, because after like the first day or 2 days, they won't push my stuff out anymore. So that's why I have to post so much, because they won't push my stuff out for weeks and months like, YouTube or Instagram does, or, other content creators on TikTok. And that's probably because I messed myself up. But it is what it is. So right now we're just looking at some possible setups for London and going into New York. Missed the retest on GA. I was looking for this. I missed it. So we're going to see it's going to retrace back for us. It didn't really hit the level I was looking for anyways, but I'm looking to enter some buys on GA. We took a sell on EA yesterday. SL did get hit. We ended yesterday 1-1. We're still up for the week, though. We're going to pull all that up in just a second. Trying to see where I want to mark my levels at. I guess I'll mark this one. Yeah, so we're going to wait for a retracement, because we don't chase trades. We wait for price to either retrace, or we just wait for price to hit our next price level and then enter from there. So we're just going to be chilling. But we're looking for buys on GA and EA. They did a little drop, And the way it was looking, we could have possibly saw a reversal, but as we see here, it ended up respecting the support level and shooting back up. And then yesterday, it did another retracement, shot back up, broke this high to the left, making a new higher high. So now we're going to be looking for buys. If price can respect this level, we're going to look for another entry here, but price could also retrace back down to here and then pump up. But regardless, as of now, we're going to be looking for buys because we are back in the bullish and uptrend. So we're going to be looking for buys on GA. As far as GN, we're just going to be watching GN. It looks a little bit messy, so we're going to look see what EN is looking like. It might be cleaner looking. All right, man, let's pull this up. Yeah, so we can see here, we look at EN and then we pull up GN. We can clearly see on the daily time frame how they look a lot different. All right. We can see similarities, but we can also see slight differences. So we do have this strong resistance level that price is still respecting right here. But as of now, I'm just going to wait for it to either break above this level and see if it's going to try to continue to push to the upside, or I'm going to wait for it to break below this daily level and either treat it as a support or break underneath it and then continue to drop down. So I'm just going to leave GN alone for right now. Because again, the goal isn't to jump into every trade. You want to look for the cleanest looking setups and then pay attention to those. As far as gold, we are still technically bearish. It's retesting this level here at around 1915, 1914. It's breaking above it right now, but if we can continue to treat that as resistance, we're going to see if we can hit 1902 again and possibly break 1900, which we failed to do all week. We see it hit it yesterday, retrace back up. So as long as it can hold underneath like 1920 and especially 1934, 1935, we can still look for sells. Now, if price breaks that level, we could look for possible short-term buys up to around 1950, but that's still another major resistance level. So I wouldn't be super comfortable or saying like long-term buy positions unless price breaks this level, treats it as support, and continues to push to the upside. So anything below those two levels, I'm still going to be looking for sells on gold. Was looking for a sell on gold yesterday. We went over that on yesterday's live, but literally the news, it did a fake out. I had this position written up and everything. I didn't enter it though, because even if we would have entered it, it would have hit our stop loss. But this was the news candlestick. This was the 815 candle. This was the 830 candlestick. So that thing literally did a fake out, and then right as soon as news started, it dumped. And then you see after that, it re-attempted to try to break that level, then took a nap all Tokyo session. Now it's retracing. So we're going to wait for it to come back to this level, look for maybe a possible sell if it wants to continue to treat it as resistance, and then we're going to go from there. But we do have news today, all right? We do have non-farm employment change, average hourly earnings, and unemployment rates. And usually with these news events, a lot of volume, a lot of spikes and pumps, like we kind of saw with gold yesterday. So I wouldn't be too surprised. So definitely around 6 a.m. EST, I'd be mindful entering any pairs really, but especially the indices in gold and USD pairs because of that. But there is still plenty of time beforehand. We can still catch some trades. Like me and the members are currently in a trade during Tokyo session with EJ sell, and we'll look and see if we can catch some during London session before the news. Perfect timing. We just hit the next TP on EJ. Let me go ahead and let the members know. And we're going to pull this up on the screen in a second too, so y'all can see this position. We just hit the final TP actually. All TPs hit. We got some on profit or close. My bad, y'all. I'm typing something really quick. EJ. All right, cool. Yeah, so we just caught a quick 50 pips, but it wasn't really quick though, because as you can see here, we was in drawdown all Tokyo session. It didn't start to move until like about an hour and some change ago. All right, so we're going to pull that up in a second. We're in the free channel. First link in the description. We're going to pull up the advanced play signal room so you can see the signal really quick. But let me catch up to the comments because I do see y'all typing. I got y'all. Whoops. Let me catch up to the comments. I hear that. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, I just like to be very transparent. Wow. That doesn't make sense. What doesn't make sense? That don't make sense. Gold's been wild recently. I wouldn't say wild. We'll go over gold. I mean, we can go over gold right now. Not much going on, and it's not London session yet. We got about 10 minutes, so we can go over gold. But V Cola, I don't know what you're talking about exactly, but I do see type some more stuff. So I'll see what you're talking about in a second. But gold hasn't been wild. I wouldn't really consider it wild. It's definitely been choppy, but you just got to look at it. It depends what time frame you're looking at as first as well. All right. If you watch any of my trade breakdowns on the channel, you already know I start on the daily time frame and work my way down. Why do we start on the daily time frame? Because price moves on a day by day, week by week, month by month basis, right? If you look at any stock or crypto or anything like that, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to pull up a small time frame. It's not going to pull up a 1 minute time frame or 5 minutes. It's usually going to pull up a weekly, 4-hour minimum, daily, monthly, or yearly chart. There's a reason for that. Same thing with why I recommend starting on the daily, all right, because we want to identify the main trend, all right. Just look at the daily time frame. Look at what we can see right here. We see a clear trend here. We see clear lower lows being made, right? We see a low, boom. Then you got a little choppy here, low, boom, boom. So we're trying to see if a new lower low can get made today. So we see price like this, right? And then we also can see all the way to, let's get rid of this. We can see all the way to February of this year. Now we're going to go on the 15-minute time frame. Look how drastically different it is. We do not see half or even a quarter of the charts and candlesticks we saw beforehand. And then also, even if we zoom out, we do not see, if we zoom out far enough, we can kind of see a downtrend, but even then you see how it's perfectly playing off these levels. You're not going to see exactly what you see on the bigger time frames. All right, so that's how a lot of people get confused or caught in a lot of fake outs. Or if you enter a trade and price spikes up the opposite direction, that rarely happens trading like this. Only time that happens is if it's rejecting harshly on a level or if news kicks in, right? Rarely do we see a super harsh rejection unless we was just dead wrong or rejected the level we're trading on, all right? And then, so that's what I recommend. So if you look at it from the daily perspective, it's not been wild. It's just been struggling to break some levels. And it's just, that's just how price moves, right? Price doesn't just go straight up or straight down. Sometimes it's going to have to play around at a few price points. It's going to have to do some retracements before the next pump, things like that. Because you also got to remember, these are live markets. These are real life values. So price can't really always pump one way or the other consistently day after day after day, right? Like that's why there's higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, or in another way of us explaining it, retracements, right? We see right here, price did a retracement at this level, a dump to the downside. Then what happened after that dump? A retracement, then a push, another retest, got a little choppy, struggled to break this low, then a drop to the downside. Now, there's a few reasons why price did this. All right, the members, y'all should know, unless you just joined this week. But it's because they're playing and trying to break these levels of traffic and keep price levels. All right. So if you haven't checked out my video on how to read candlesticks part 2, let me go ahead and link that in the chat for y'all. Make sure to check that out. All right. Those just joined the stream, we haven't entered anything yet. Go ahead and hit that first link in the description. Join the free signal room, free Telegram. You see on your screen how we did last week and last month. We're going to pull that up in a second, but if you hit that first link, you can check it out for yourselves. All right. All right, here we go. All right, and those watching the record, you already know I got you. All right, so let me see. Gold looks like it wants to go up. I'm selling UJ. Hey, if that's what you want to do, do it. Just make sure you're not just in it because I'm in EJ. Make sure you just met your rules and your confirmations have been seen. All right, don't just jump in because I'm in a sell right now. Because remember, I jumped in all the way up here. Or I jumped in at literally the beginning of the candlestick on the daily time frame. So it already did a huge dump, and we just hit another key price level where we could see a retracement. So keep that in mind. Even though UJ is its own pair, correlating pairs do kind of still move similar. Not exactly bar for bar the same, but do keep that in mind. Sleep schedule. Sleep schedule. It's not even 8 a.m. Yeah, I don't sleep, bro. I don't sleep. That's why I be telling people, like, people will hit me up and be like, man, I can't trade because it's this time for me when you trade, or it's this time here, or I got to do this, I got to do that. And I'd be like, I get it. But then I just tell them, I'm like, well, before I was full-time trading, I was working 2 jobs, 6 days a week, 14, 16-hour shifts, and then still trading. And still, I used to, before I went to my first job, I used to get up London session, go on the charts, enter some trades, take an hour nap. So I'd wake up at like 2 a.m. I'd be up 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I'd take an hour nap. At 5 a.m., I had to wake up, shower, get ready for work, leave the crib by at least 6 a.m. because I had to drive an hour to work. While I don't recommend doing this next part though. But while I was on the road, I'm on the charts. So I'm saying, so what I'm basically saying is, like, if you want it, you're gonna find a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you do not need 8 hours of sleep. I don't care what your doctor says. I don't care what your favorite celebrity says. You do not need 8 hours of sleep. All right. I take naps, 2 to 3 hours tops. I take cat naps, and I function completely fine. Now, granted, I have been doing this for a while, and I've always been a night owl, but you don't need 8 hours of sleep. But my sleep schedule is kind of crazy. I just, honestly, I be sleeping while, obviously I sleep while in trades. I trade all sessions, but I make it work though. I make it work, and I still enjoy myself. I don't just be on the charts all day. You know, that's what that app's for. TikTok. Oh, you talking about TikTok? Yeah. TikTok be tripping, bro. But TikTok does help push me out to other people, so that's why I still posting it. But yeah, TikTok be tripping sometimes. But still shout out to TikTok. You're scalping gold. All right, do your thing. Do your thing. You can always be on smaller time frames. If that's what you want to do. Like I said, I'm on the 15, but all I'm saying is you can go on a smaller time frame, but do not start on a smaller time frame. The smaller time frames are literally supposed to be used just to show you what price is doing at that exact time. All right. The smaller time frames are not going to tell you what direction price is going to go. The smaller time frames are going to tell you the trend. The smaller time frames can only tell you so much. You know what I mean? So I get it. I know there's a lot of reasons why people use smaller time frames, but again, I'm just saying, start on the bigger time frames and then work your way down. You know what I'm saying? But I personally don't go any smaller than a 5 minute. Anything smaller than that is useless, in my opinion. Unless you're doing that scalping, we're just trying to catch a quick pump or bounce. But if you're trying to catch multiple candlesticks, multiple pips, like 20 plus pips on average, and then not just a 2 minute candlestick, but the daily candlesticks consistently, this is the way to go. But as long as you up for the day, you're still securing profits, do your thing. Oh yeah, this is the video I was talking about, y'all. Make sure to check this video out. All right, how to read. Well, the simplest way. I can't even read my title correctly. The simplest how to read candlesticks video part 2. I should probably put that in quotations because I just confused myself. So let me go ahead and do that. Those just joined the stream, me and his members entered this last night during Tokyo session. We already hit the final TP. We're deep in profit on it. Just letting it run, do its thing. Wouldn't recommend entering this because we entered all the way up here. We're about 50 pips, about to be 60 pips in profit. And we're just chilling right now. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up because we were supposed to do that a while ago. So let me go ahead and pull this up. The London session is about to start as well. So we're in the free signal room. No, we're not. We're in the advanced place signal room. This was the EJ signal. So this is what I meant, right? So we entered this at 8:06 p.m., right? When, Tokyo session started. You see, we didn't hit the first TP until 1:13 a.m. And then you see, we just hit the final TP on live. So this is one of those trades where my other video, I don't even know what that thing is titled. I'm not doing a good job, y'all, am I? Never be emotional while trading. My second most recent video, I break down exactly the steps I take every day to stay calm and cool, collected on the charts. All right. I'll be on the live streams. Y'all see it all the time. When we're deep in profit, when we're in drawdown, I pretty much sound the same. And there's a reason for it. I was not always like this. All right. The main reason why people are emotional while in trades is one, because they're putting too much pressure on themselves. That's the main thing, right? You saw some video on social media and now you're trying to make what they made, or you're just trying to make some money, which is awesome. But then two, which is the main one, you don't know what is going on the charts, right? You just know you're in drawdown, or you just know price retraced, or price pumped the opposite direction, and you don't know what's going on. You just know it shot the opposite direction you're going. So if I don't know what's going on and I see price not going my direction and I see I'm in drawdown, I'm gonna freak out too. Especially if you do what most people do as well, which is number three, you're over leveraging. So if I'm risking way more than I expected or way more than I'm okay with, then I don't know what's going on in the charts, and then price is pumping in my opposite direction, I'm gonna freak out and be emotional too. That makes sense. But that's why I always stress just to take the time to learn what you gotta learn. All right. You just gotta learn a few things and you just put your head down, like literally, depending on where you're at. If you're starting brand new, like literally like after a quarter, like 3 months, if you just really put your head down, you'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, everybody's learning curve is different, but like if you just stick to your rules, take the time to learn the charts, it's just rinse and repeat, literally. And we trade all sessions. Like I said, we into this during Tokyo session. But back to what I was saying, the reason why I brought up that video was because we was in drawdown literally all Tokyo session. Again, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up for y'all again. I called this trade at 8:06 p.m. EST. The first TP didn't get hit till 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. 5 hours later, I took a nap. Opened my phone. What did I see? Price chilling here. So we entered at this candlestick right here, right? We entered at this candlestick. Price pushed down. We barely missed the first TP. We missed the first TP by like 2 pips or something. And then price retraced all the way back and then stayed here for 4 hours. So the old me or most people would get upset, close the trade, get impatient because they're like, the last trade I took didn't do this. The last trade I took, all TPs got hit in 5 minutes. So I think every trade should do that, which is not the case. But a lot of people think like that. People think, it's supposed to be just the same thing all the time. No, the setups you're looking for are going to be the same every time, but the market conditions are going to be slightly different. But that's why you should always hold to SL or TP gets hit. All right. People don't do it too much, but back when I first started the playbook, a lot of people used to always ask, are you still holding? Is anyone still holding? They'd be in the group chat. Is anyone still holding? Are you still holding? Is anyone still holding? Or they'll DM me, are you still holding this trade? And I used to always say the same thing. If you didn't get wicked out in profit, hold to SL or TP gets hit. And this is a prime example, all right? Because again, that's why I always say look at the charts. Because you're just looking at your MT4, all you're going to see is that you're in drawdown. You're negative. That does not tell you anything. You did not enter the chart based on, you did not enter the trade based off the You entered the trade based off what? The charts. So why would you look at anything besides the charts while in a trade or while about to exit a trade or before you're about to execute the trade? It doesn't make sense, right? So if you know how much you're risking and you're okay with what you're risking, and then you know how to read the charts and you know what's going on at all times, whether in drawdown or not, you're not going to really be that stressed out. Only stress you're going to have to deal with then is just the unnecessary pressure you're putting on yourself and just facing reality. You know what I mean? That's about it. So we're watching GN right here. This is just a trade idea. I want to mess with GA, but it hasn't retraced for us yet. Let's see what EA is looking like. Okay. EA is about to break this level. Let's pull up the daily. Just wonky. I'm not against a buy here. I'm definitely going to be securing profits. It looks like price is going to try to push and break that level. We're going to see how this 15 reacts. Because, again, this is what I was talking about with correlating pairs. So we look at the 15 on EA, and we just look at this market structure here. It looks exactly like GA, except I have different levels marked off on GA compared to EA, right? So you see the similarities. The level is underneath here, but for EA, the level is right above where price is currently at. So that's why we want to wait for the next 15, because the price is going to retrace. We're going to let it retrace and do its thing. But price is going to try to break that level and hold that level. We can still enter a buy there. It'll be a decent stop loss. Still a few levels. I was looking at NAS too. Wow. Right before London session started. All right, so we're going to wait for a retest. Because I have certain rules. Sometimes, well, let me not say that. I have certain rules. And as y'all know, I usually don't enter trades until the London session candle starts. And this one started right here. So we're going to wait for a retracement. I had this trade idea marked off before the live, because before I start the live, I do a quick analysis of the charts and all that stuff just to get prepared. So I had this trade idea written up. As you see, I had it written right here. So right now, we're going to wait for the retracement. And depending on what price can treat as resistance, we're going to just ride this wave down to right here. It started its move a little bit before London session, though. But it happens. But we're going to be looking for possible sells on NAS and SPX, like I got written right here. I see y'all typing in the chat. I'm going to catch up to that in a second. I'm just looking at these charts right now, make sure we don't miss anything. All right, so yeah, so we got a US30 level right here. Yeah, so we're going to be looking for sells on the indices, all right? Because y'all watched yesterday's live or even Monday's live. We broke this down. We're going to break it down right now as well. All right, so we're breaking it down. So those that been here, you already know we've been catching the buys since literally the uptrend began, as you can see here. But past couple weeks, price failed to make a new high. So then me and the members caught some sells here, and then price attempted to make a new higher high, but struggled to hold and close above this resistance level, which we see right here. And then what happened? Price rejected. And now price is underneath this level here. And y'all watched yesterday's live. I was saying if price can hold underneath this level, we could look for possible sells down to here. And that's what I was looking to do during London session, but the move already started. So we're going to wait for a retracement. And if it doesn't retrace, like always, we're just going to wait for the next entry point. Because again, you should never be feeling any pressure to enter a trade or never FOMO. FOMO is not your friend. All right. Just think about, this is what I do. All right. Just think about the last time you didn't listen to yourself and you jumped in that trade and didn't wait for the retracement. What happened? Price shot back up right to where you wanted to enter at, didn't it? At least that happens to me. Maybe I just got terrible luck, but I know that I'm not the only one that's happened to. So I just think of that. I just have a flashback to that memory, and I'm like, that's exactly why I have this rule in place where I don't chase trades. I just wait for the retracement. All right, let me catch up to these comments. All right. Do you do these live same time every weekday? I may start joining you. Yes. So most of the time, it's just very rare that I don't, but most of the time, it's going to be Monday through Friday, London session, 3 a.m. EST. I just started a little bit earlier today because I got a couple one-on-one sessions that I got to squeeze in during London session. So I'm just starting a little bit earlier so I can still do the decent regularly timed live, and I can still knock out what I got to knock out. So that's why we're starting a little bit earlier, but it's usually 3 a.m. EST, same time every day. What lot size do you recommend for a $1,000 account? So I'm glad you brought that up because that's another thing that I don't like about the trading community that people just don't talk about, but they know about. And that's why I started the playbook too. So those that don't know, I started the playbook because after I taught myself how to trade, the algorithm started doing this thing. I just started seeing a bunch of, trading content. I just saw a lot of people lying or capping or just making up stuff or trying to sound fancy. And when you know how to do something or you know something, you see someone that doesn't know and they're just BSing and they're BSing. Yeah, I got that feeling. So I just got tired of seeing it. So that's why I started the playbook. And this is one of the things that I don't like, and which is exactly why, members, I stress. What do I stress, members? I always stress learning how to read the candlesticks and lot size. All right. And this is why. All right. There's no standard lot size. It depends on what you're trading. And it also depends on what you're trying to risk. All right. There is no standard lot size for end all be all. So if you have $1,000 account, you need to figure out how much you're trying to risk per trade. Once you figure out how much you're trying to risk per trade, then that you need to figure out what lot size you need to put to risk that and not anything more. Okay. In order to do that, you need to know how to count pips. So if you don't know how to count pips, I have a video on my YouTube channel, literally titled "How to Count Pips." All right. And then members, you already know, if you're not in the group chat, join the group chat, watch the pinned video in the group chat. I teach you exactly how to calculate your lot size for every trade to make sure you're risking the same amount each trade. All right. And why is that important? We can talk about that. But before I go in teacher mode, I want to make sure we're not missing any setups. Because when I go in teacher mode, yeah, we end up missing some setups. This one was unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to wait for that retracement. Nothing we could do about that. Let's check out gold really quick. So I have a level right here, just a smaller level here. So funny enough, I wasn't able to call this signal out, but on one of my accounts, my sell limit strategy, because I have multiple accounts. I have accounts that, smaller accounts that I like to just flip and challenge myself with. I have accounts that I try different strategies with. And I have accounts where my main goal is to make my money, right? And then obviously I'm trying to make money on all these accounts, but I have another account where I try to push myself in my strategy, and then I have an account where I strictly just put buy sell limit strategies just to see like how accurate this shit can be. And my buy sell limit strategy is as accurate, if not more, than what we average weekly, monthly, and quarterly. So I had the sell limit for this gold sell, and so on one of my accounts I'm actually in this, but as far as manually entering a signal wise, I'm not in this position. But that's just one of the pros of that. All right. Now going back to who was asking about that. Who was asking about C Hub? Yeah. So going back to what you're saying, that's in the course, the buy selling strategy. Um, but yeah, but we're gonna let gold do its thing. So right now, y'all, I'm just looking at some more setups before I go break down what I was about to break down, because that is a great question and a great topic to discuss. We got a couple minutes to the next 15. GA looks like it's still trying to reach for the stars. So if that's going to try to continue to pump up, we're going to wait for the next 15 and see if EA is going to do the same. All right, if EA can break this level and hold, we can look for a possible buy, but it's kind of still struggling to break this level, which is why we have this marked off here. So we're going to wait for the next 15, but I do like this right here. But we're going to wait for the next 15. So we're going to keep this here, and then I'm going to have EJ on my other screen. That way I can keep an eye on this, make sure it doesn't retrace too far. Those just joining the live, we have not entered this trade. This is just a trade idea. Me and the members are currently in an EJ sell. Make sure that first link in the description. All right, we're going to pull that up in a second, but I want to answer this question. All right, so the reason why it's so important to risk the same amount each trade is, all right, let's just break it down. It's very simple. Like I said, trading consists of three things: knowing how to read the charts and your trading strategy. Then the second part is your discipline, having your emotions in control. And the third part is basic math and entering the lot sizes. All right. So this is about number 3. So if you risk the same amount each trade and you have a good win rate, that's where the money will come and your account will grow. All right. So what I want you to do is go into your history, your trade history. And this is for everyone. Go to your trade history. If you see more red than blue, that is a problem. And if you are losing more than you're winning, that is a problem. But most importantly, if your losses are canceling out your wins, especially if you're winning more than losing, that is also a problem. And that's most likely because you're not properly calculating your lot size and risking the same amount each trade. All right. So I like to give this example out. All right. But it's pretty simple. So if you take 3 trades and you have you risk the same, you put the same lot size, but they're different stop losses, right? So let's say you have a 50 pip stop loss and 100 pip stop loss. If you put a 0.10 lot size and both of those trades hit stop loss, you're not going to lose the same amount on both of those trades, right? So that's why I was saying there's not no set lot size. It depends on what you're trading and what the stop loss is and what you're trying to risk per trade. All right. So I like to use this analogy. So let's say same thing. You took 3 trades, but you're risking the same amount each trade. So now let's say you won 2 trades, lost 1, you're going to be up. But even if you lost 2 trades and won 1, you can still be up if you apply the second part, which is the risk to reward. Risk to reward, I think I have a video on that. If I don't have a video on that, I need to make a video on that. But risk to reward comes into play is important as well. But we'll break that down in a second. I'm fairly new to this. That's good. Yes, risk to reward ratio is key. What's the link to the group chat? Are you a member? If you are a member, then the link to the group chat is in one of the pinned messages in the advanced play signal room. So if first thing you do when you join is you should explore the channel, right? But a lot of people miss the pinned messages. So if you're a member, hit the pinned message, read all the pinned messages in the advanced play signal room. One of them is going to be the group chat link. Read the rules before you join. Click that, and then the pinned message in the group chat is where you'll see that video. All right. So new 15 just started. Let's go ahead and pull up the free channel so y'all can see that. So you see on your screen how we did last week and last month. Let's go ahead and go over how we're doing so far this week. And then we're going to go over how we did last month as well. So when you hit that link, first thing you're going to see is, of course, the links here. So this is how we did yesterday. So it wasn't really break even, but I just like to say it's break even because, again, not everybody is calculating the lot sizes appropriately. But if we go to GN, right, let's just pull up GN. Boom. So we took a GN sell yesterday. Me and the members, this was nice 1 to 2 risk reward, which means we made 2 times what we were risking. So this position here, we got 45 pips, but it was a 1 to 2 risk reward. And then if we look at this right here, this was about a 40 pip stop loss. So even if we do the math, just pip wise, we're up for the day plus 5 pips if we do that. But because risk reward, we risk the same amount each trade. So let's say we risk $20. We took both those trades, right? Perfect how this lines up. We were just talking about risk reward. So let's say we risk $20 on this trade and $20 on the EA trade. You took both those trades. You lost the EA trade, right? That hit stop loss yesterday. So you're down $20. But you won this GN trade, and this was a 1 to 2 risk reward. So you're up $40. So instead of being break even, if you properly calculate your lot size, you're up for the day, even though you went 1-1. Right? Now imagine this was a 1 to 3 risk reward. You'd be up way more, right? So that's why risk reward is so important, and making sure to risk the same amount each trade, because even if you have a great risk reward, if you're not risking the same amount each trade, you won't be able to, grow your account, especially if you don't have a super high win rate weekly. But we're going to pull back up. Yeah, I just want to use that example. That goes back to what you was talking about with the lot sizes and risk reward being key, which is a fact. All right. Yeah, so it's treating that as a resistance. So it's retracing back down. I'm not against the retracement. So we're going to let price do its thing. So as we can see, we've been on the charts. Nothing really has been going off, right? We did miss that NAS entry, but we don't enter any trades to London opening anyway. So it's not like we... Oh, there's that retracement we was just talking about. I want to see it come up a little bit higher, though. So we're going to see if it will. All right, but that's what I was saying. Price is always going to retrace, and if it doesn't retrace, just wait to enter at the next level. So we're going to see if it retraces a little bit more. It might not retrace all the way back up to this level, but I want to see it come up to at least 15,070, 15,060 at least. Then I'll enter. I want to be against entry on that level. Let's see what US30 is looking like. US30 hit the bottom of this zone. Yeah, so I'm still considering sells, but we could still see some retracements before the big drop happens for the day. So that's the only thing I'm kind of concerned about. Like most people, I like to just chill and let the trade do its thing. But that's why you always want to secure profits, because retracements do happen. Yeah, I want to see this retrace a little bit more. New 5-minute just started. Yeah, nothing really we can jump into right now. Still in this EJ position, looking at a second position, if price can break and hold this level. But still just got one position as of now. I should make a video on, I don't know. That might be I might do that in the next live with the member. So as far as news today, we do got ADP. No, we got non-farm employment. We got average hourly earnings and unemployment rate and unemployment. But we got two unemployment rates and employment change. So we got Canadian news and USD news at 8:30. So it could be similar, if not a lot more violent than yesterday. So just keep in mind and eye out for those time frames. But as you can see, a lot of people on these news events don't trade the entire day. Now, FOMC is the only day in holidays that I can see that makes sense, because FOMC is one of the few high impact news events that literally price won't do jack squat until the news event comes out. But as you can see here, we have news events literally every week, and we can still trade regularly. So most people say that or act that way strictly because they don't know what's going on. Again, going back to what we was talking about earlier in the live, why a lot of people are emotional while trading. That goes back to that, not knowing what's going on, not knowing how to read the charts, right? Because we make the most money on news days. Now, yesterday doesn't really count. Well, let me not say it doesn't count, but yesterday wasn't one of those days, right? But 90%, 95% of the time, we make most of the money and a lot of money on the news days. And that we be entering trades way before the news starts, and it ends up dumping in our direction. Like we'll call trades London session or Tokyo session, and the news is during New York session, and it'll continue to dump our direction, right? But if you don't know how to go about news days, watch this video, all right? And this is your first time on the live, make sure to hit that sub button and that bell, because we don't just live trade, live stream every day, but we drop content weekly as well. We just dropped a video a few days ago on how to read candlesticks. Last week we dropped a trading psychology video. I got an account flipping video. I got a trading plan video. I got trade breakdowns. I got video on risk to reward. I got videos on just almost everything. But let me find that video I was talking about, how to trade news. Boom, there we go. Let me go ahead and drop that for you. All right, damn. Yeah, but EJ is dumping. We're just chilling right now, waiting for that next 15. We was looking at EA, but EA is treating that level as resistance, not support yet. So we're just gonna let it do its thing for right now. The New Zealand pairs are kind of in a level of traffic, so we're trying to wait for it to break that range. NAS didn't hit the level I was looking for, but it did retrace, but it's dumping back against us. It is what it is, though. We could have possibly entered there. But again, the rules are in place for reasons. There are exceptions to the rules, but the rules are in place for a reason. Just because there's a 5% chance that if you break the rules, it'll pan out in your favor, doesn't mean you should ignore the 95% chance that you'll regret doing what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to number 2 as well. Like I said, number 1 is knowing how to read the charts and candlesticks and having a trading strategy. Number 2 is emotions and discipline. Number 3 is the simple math, which is knowing how to calculate your lot size and entries. All right. And we literally just went over all 3 of those in this live. So make sure to save this live and go back and watch this over the weekend as well. Yeah, but we're just chilling right now. We knew 5 minutes just started. We got 5 minutes to the next 15. Those just joined the stream. This is what me and the members entered last night during Tokyo session. We haven't entered anything else yet. Price is just kind of ranging, retracing. We went over possible setups and projections. We see these certain pairs going for the day, but we haven't entered anything yet. Just waiting on confirmations right now. Next week should be a lot smoother though. Like I went over earlier this week, and usually every month, the first week of the month and the last week of the month are usually the toughest weeks to trade and the choppiest. That's because every week there are news reports, but this is when the most news reports and the super high impact news reports come out, right? So if you look at it was either yesterday's stream or Wednesday. I mean, we can just do it right now, right? So we're on the first week of this month, right? So let's just pay attention to the high impact news events. We see CPI, we see ISM services, we see non-farm employment, unemployment rate, and employment change, and then we see FOMC, right? Now we're going to go to the first week of last month. If it will, there we go. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and then we'll just go to the 8th. We're going to apply, and then what do we see here? So we see ISM. What else do we see? We see jolts. We see unemployment rate. We see employment change. What else do we see? We see FOMC. We see ADP. What else do we see? Unemployment claims, non-farm employment, and it's on a Friday, just like it is on the first week of the month this Friday. Interesting. Now let's go to April. Same thing. Now with April, if it starts in the middle of the week or on a weekend, obviously go to the first fresh new week. Sometimes it'll still carry over depending on the day, but we're just going to do this just to be on the safe side, right? What do we see here? We see CPI, we see ISM, we see cash rate, we see RBA, we see Joe's job openings, we see ADP, we see ISM, we see unemployment, employment, we see non-farm employment again on a Friday. Interesting. Now let's just do one more month. And, let's just do one more month. Let's do February. And we'll do the first, and then we'll just do this whole week just to see. All right. We see ADP, we see ISM, we see FOMC, we see non-farm employment, unemployment, ISM average. And what is this on a Friday again? Not a coincidence, y'all. Like I said, price repeats itself, news repeats itself too. So then just watch that video I just linked in the chat. Practice, of course, on a demo, back test. And it's just that simple, y'all. It's literally just rinse and repeat. You just got to know what you're looking at. So GA has got a little whip going on. So I wonder if EA is going to try to break that level. Yeah, so if EA can hold that level, we might look for a buy position here. We're going to see what this next 15 looks like. And then we're going to go from there. All right, y'all. The sale did end last week, but there are still one session spots available. And if you're interested in learning how to mark off these levels, or if you're interested in trading with us in Tokyo session and all sessions, make sure you join the Advanced Play Signal Room. All right. Now, what comes with Advanced Play Signal Room? I'm going to pull that up in a second. Give me 1 second now. Type this up really quick. So what comes with it is, one, you get Tokyo session trades with us. We only trade Tokyo session with the members, and then obviously you get all the signals because London and New York, not all of them are in the free channel. The free channel gets 25 to 50% of the trades, depending on how many trades we take, what session, the order, all that stuff. And then also you have the student and member group chat, and then in the advanced play signal room as well, we have, well, before we do that, let's scroll and then we can go over that as well. So that's how we're doing so far this week. So we went 1-1 yesterday. How we went on the 5th, we went 1-0, only took one trade, caught 27 pips. And then Monday, we took a GN sell and then held it into Tuesday, caught 130 pips. And that's pretty much how we're doing so far this month and this week. All right. All that good stuff. So what comes with the advanced play signal room? I'm trying to find this so I can just read this stuff down the line. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. So you get walk through the trades too. I let y'all know basically where I would recommend either securing profits, exiting, or entering trades. You're going to see my chart analysis every day. I send a New York price watch list where I go over the trades taken during Tokyo and London session and possible setups going into New York. We're going to pull it up in a second so y'all can see that. And then there's pinned messages in both the group chat and the advanced play signal room, going over actually what you was talking about before. Let me make sure I don't mispronounce your name. Who was asking about, okay, Richie. So we actually have that, well, not a lot size key, but something similar to that. So actually scratch that. I'm not gonna lie to you, we don't have that. Something similar to that. We have an account size key, which is similar, but it's basically just telling you what your account size should be if you're going to be considering trading certain pairs, right? But we're going to advanced play signal room. Don't enter any of these trades. These are all old trades. All right, these are all dead trades. Matter of fact, we're going to scroll up a little bit. These are all dead trades. Don't mess with these trades. This is June 29th. Don't do this. All right. But basically, you get the bigger moves. You get all the trades. Then this is the New York price watches. Like it says here, looking at trades we're currently in, the possible sets going into New York. You see, I got the charts. I do a chart analysis. I break down what we're looking for, buys or sells on all the pairs we trade. I go over why we're looking for buys or sells, and I go over specific price levels I look for sells, buys, exits, and entries at. And I do this every day for the members, and then I walk y'all through the trades as well. I'll let y'all know when we hit key price levels, and then we have exclusive lives. As of now, first it used to be during Tokyo session when I started it, but now it's been New York live streams during the New York news events, right? And they're all recorded. So if you missed the live, it's dropped the same day, as you can see here. And we have the pin message. We're not going to click that because, again, you have to see the access for that. But we're just going to scroll a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much what it comes with. So if you're interested in that, make sure to click those links. If you guys want to contact me directly, hit me up on Instagram, DM me playmaker_way. You can also message me on Telegram. I respond to all messages. If I don't respond to you, just give me a second. Well, not a second, but give me time. I will respond to your messages. I have set times where I go through emails and messages, so I will get to it, all right? But EA did reject that level, so we're just going to let it do its thing for right now. We're going to be on the chart still, but we're just going to be waiting right now for our confirmations and setups. And we're going to be back at it next week, y'all. London session, 3 a.m. EST.